Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching this video from. Welcome back to Two Wheels Paradise. My name, as usual, is Meshak. And here we are with quite an interesting discussion, something that has been coming through to me from my previous videos, from my previous social media posts. Something I have been requested by a couple of my viewers and followers online to address. And it happens to be something I discussed somewhere last year, and it is coming back. And today, we're going to have a very long video trying to explain the logistics, the modalities of your first long motorcycle ride. Look, we are heading to the holiday season. Jingle bells all over the place. In a couple of weeks from now, we will be all over the place, traveling up country. Some people going for holidays, other people going back home after a very long time. And I know some of you have just bought motorcycles this year, maybe a couple of months ago, and you'll be on your way back home. And this time round, you want to go with a motorcycle. Because, of course, you spent a lot of money on it, and it is time for you to go back to the village and show everyone that you have a motorcycle. So now the trick is here. Between where you work and where your village is, or wherever you will be going this holiday season, is a distance of 300 kilometers plus, one way. So I'm addressing someone who works in Vika and their villages in Nakuru. I am also addressing someone who works in Nairobi CBD. Their home is past Narok, Bomet, going to Kisii. I'm also addressing someone who works in Mombasa and they come from Kitui. Someone who works in Kwale, Kilifi, Lamu. Their home is in Nyeri, 700 kilometers. These are the people I'm addressing. Someone who wants to go back home with a motorcycle they purchased, and it is going to be the first long ride they are going to do. Maybe you have done over 10,000 kilometers of commuting to work around where you work. But this time round, you're going for a very, very long distance. And it is for the first time. Trust me, it is going to feel like the first time you are riding a motorcycle. I did this several years ago. And trust me, it is thrilling. If you are not very, very careful, it can make you hate motorcycles. It can make you hate motorcycles. So what do? I get this question all the time, that I bought a Honda Ace 125, I bought a Haojin 200, I have a Cougar 150, I bought a JC 250, I have Boxer Bajaj 150. These names of beginner bikes, I have been getting this all the time. Like, can this bike go for 200 kilometers? Can this bike go for... I always ask this question to anyone who comes up with that discussion. Can you ride 200 kilometers yourself? Can you ride 200 kilometers yourself? Because it is not all about the motorcycle. Going for long distance is more of you than the motorcycle. It is more of you. You, the rider. It's more of you than the motorcycle. Are you strong enough to do 200 kilometers? Do you think you are healthy enough to do 300 kilometers? That should be the first question. You as the rider, are you healthy and strong enough to do those distances you're talking about? Because you can buy a bike like mine. This bike will do 1,000 kilometers in one day. But can you do 200 kilometers on it? That's the question. Can you do 200 kilometers on this bike that can do 1,000 kilometers in a day without making you tired? How strong are you? How much endurance do you have? So let's get to the discussion. When you are preparing for a long ride, first things first, you must have a motorcycle. What are you going to ride? You must have a motorcycle. Second, that motorcycle must be in good shape. That motorcycle must, and I'm saying must. I'm not saying should be in good shape. I'm saying must be in good shape mechanically. You don't want to buy a motorcycle second hand yesterday and then today you're riding to sea from Vika. That's suicidal. For you to make sure that your motorcycle is in good shape, you have to spend time fixing things yourself. Fixing things yourself. We have seen so many people dying in car hire vehicles. Car hire. We have seen it all over the place. People dying in very, very nasty accidents when they hired a vehicle to go to the village. This is a vehicle you have never used again. You don't even know when last this vehicle went to the garage to have the bearings checked, the steering racks, and you don't even know what is broken. You don't even know what is tied up with duct tapes. You don't even know what is wrong with that vehicle. So people end up dead in car hire vehicles. Same case with bikes. You don't want to buy a used motorcycle today and tomorrow, very early in the morning, you set out for a very long ride. Very long ride. You don't want to do that. It's a mistake that can make you regret if only you get a chance to actually regret. If only you get a chance to regret. It's a very serious mistake. So when you get that motorcycle, whether it is brand new, zero mileage from the shop, from the showroom, and you have a ride one day before the ride or at least 2 days before the ride, visit garage, have that motorcycle checked properly by a professional mechanic. Professional mechanic. Have that bike checked. There are some things you cannot see yourself, but a mechanic will know. A mechanic will tell you, your wheel bearings are not dead, but they only have like 100 kilometers to go before they die. A professional mechanic will tell you. There is a sound I have heard somewhere, and that one is not broken, but it's breaking. A mechanic will tell you. If you go to Kisii from Thika, you will not get to Bomet. Those wheel bearings will die. They'll tell you. So visit garage, professional garage. Have your motorcycle checked by professionals. They will tell you whether that bike is in good shape for you to ride for the first, longest ride of your life. Now you have gone to the garage, you have had the bike checked, everything is okay, clean bill of health, everything. We come back to you. Again, back to you. For you to be fit enough to ride for those kilometers, you have to prepare yourself physically and psychologically for that trip. And this is how you do it. If you are the kind that drinks alcohol, give yourself 2 days of being very, very sober before the first long ride. I'm saying 2 days, or at least 36 hours. On a minimum 36 hours. Sober. Because you want your body to regain energy for that distance. You do not want to risk hangovers catching up with you, coming back to haunt you. 600 kilometers journey when you are halfway. On a 600 kilometers journey, on a 400 kilometers journey, when you're halfway, hangovers are coming to haunt you. Your body is getting weak, you don't have a lot of glucose in it, you are getting dehydrated because of alcohol in your body. You don't want those shenanigans to happen to you when you're riding for the first long ride. You don't want those shenanigans to happen to you. You don't want those shenanigans to happen to you. So, at least 36 hours of being sober. No alcohol, very clean, because you need to be fit enough to ride. When we talk about you being sober and strong to ride, you need to have enough sleep. So if you're planning to leave place A for place B tomorrow morning at 6, try and be asleep by 9. Give yourself a minimum of 7 hours clean sleeping. And when I say sleep, I mean sleep, comfortable sleep. Go eat properly, take a shower properly, prepare yourself, and make sure if you're carrying something, a small bag, pack it the previous night, not in the morning. Because you don't want anything to put you in a hurry. You don't want anything to activate the emergency mode in the morning. I have forgotten this, I don't know whether I carried this, I don't. All those shenanigans, just avoid them by packing your bag previous evening when you're riding this morning. Keep it packed. When we talk about packing, make sure you're not carrying a lot of luggage. It is unnecessary. For the first time for you to ride, avoid luggage. Avoid luggage, completely avoid luggage. You will have the whole life to carry whatever you want, but avoid luggage for the first ride you're doing, long ride. Luggage, it is unnecessary. You will have a lot of time to carry a lot of things that you want. For the first time, just avoid luggage. Maybe you can carry a bag with some clothes here and there and some few stuff, like 10 kgs of a bag. And if you're carrying a bag, make sure it is not on your back. It is on the bike. If you do not have boxes like myself, find a way of getting that luggage lapped up with something on the bike, not on you. Not on you. You see, human beings have a lot of blood vessels, and we have very, very serious blood vessels around here. Here. Do you see that vessel over here? And another one on this other side that take the blood to your brain and back. There's one that takes the blood to the brain and another one that takes it back. That takes oxygen to your brain through the blood and back. You don't want to have those vessels pressed by your backpack when you're carrying 20 kgs luggage. That is one of the reasons why you see me with boxes all the time. Every time I'm going for a distance, some long ride, I must have a box. Because I don't carry things with my back. I don't. It is unnecessary, it is wrong. Now, you have made sure the bike is in good condition. You have taken the precautions. And if possible, make sure the bike was cleaned previous evening before you just have the ride in the morning. Clean the bike. It is in good shape mechanically, it's clean, you have packed your bag. It is time for you now to go and sleep. Make sure you are sleeping. So now you have slept, you have packed stuff, the bike is ready. It is in the morning you have waken up and it is time for you to set out for the journey. I always believe in the power of prayers. I don't know about you, but for me, I always believe in the power of prayers. I always do a prayer. Bless my journey. I do a prayer. It's a ritual that I'm getting used to. I always have to do that. You're done with those prayers, you're done with gearing up, you're done with everything. It is time for you now to set out for the journey. Something you have to notice is, if you bought some motorcycle gear just recently, make sure they are fitting you. There is a time I made a mistake actually on this helmet, this Yohe helmet. I bought this helmet on, I think 20th of December in the year 2020. Yeah, 2020, 20th of December. And then, 21st, I never used it. 22nd, early in the morning, I have the helmet in my head. I'm leaving Nairobi for Malindi. It was one of the longest journeys I ever had. Not because of the distance, but because of discomfort. The helmet was new, not used to my head, and then I have just used it for the first time in like 700 kilometers trip. It was very, very long. So what I'm telling you is something out of experience. This helmet made me learn something very, very precious. Very precious. Something that many people will not even discuss it because they don't even know. But because I went through that journey, I have this information. Do not buy motorcycle gear and use it for the first time for a long ride. It can make your ride horrible. Because when you fit those boots, they feel comfortable. But after 100 kilometers, they become very, very disturbing. When you buy those gloves, they are fitting. After 100 kilometers, they become very, very disturbing, very, very nagging. You can end up riding without them. You can end up riding without them. So when you buy motorcycle gear, make sure you have used it for at least 1 week before you take them out for a long distance ride. At least 1 week, long distance ride, you should be good. You have done your prayers and now you are on your way out. You are geared up. You have looked at the weather like, if I was to ride today for long distance, it is looking like it can rain anytime from now. So have rain gear, have something just to keep you safe from the environmental issues. Here we are talking about being comfortable on the ride. So make sure the environment is not bothering you. The environment is not bothering you. When you set out to ride, the first thing you need to do is to make sure your bike has fuel. I don't even know how to discuss this one because we have different types of riders. Those people who get to half tank and they feel like I need to fuel up, and those people who I know my bike. I know my bike. I'm on reserve. I know I can go to the next 60 kilometers on reserve. You don't want to be in that category of I know my bike. When you set out for a journey in the morning, the first thing you need to do is to make sure you have enough fuel. For enough fuel, it's a matter of budgeting. A matter of budgeting. You should at least know how much fuel your bike is consuming. And that's why I'm discouraging you from getting a bike today and tomorrow you are on the ride. Because you don't even know how that bike behaves after 100 kilometers. You don't know how much fuel that bike is consuming. You have no idea how that bike is behaving. You have no idea. You absolutely have no idea. You're supposed to know how much fuel your bike is going to consume going to the destination you're going and back. How do you get this? By calculating the fuel mileage per distance. Kilometers per liter. Kilometers per liter. You have to do that calculation. For me, I come from Nyeri. Between Nairobi and Nyeri, I know how many kilometers they are. I know how many kilometers my bike lands on 1 liter of fuel. On a good day, this bike will give me 26 kilometers per liter. When I'm riding 80 and below, it will give me 26, 27. If I push it to 120, it will come down to almost 20, 21 kilometers per liter. Sometimes even below 20. I know how my bike behaves. I've been riding this bike for 2 years. I know how this bike behaves. I know. So if I'm leaving Nairobi for my village in Nyeri, I already know how much money I'm supposed to spend to and fro. The same case with you. You're supposed to know how much fuel your bike requires for that journey. So if you have a huge tank like myself, 18 liters and above, you know how much money you require to fuel that tank to full tank, to the brim, full. And you know how many kilometers it can take you. One thing that you'll understand is when you have fuel, the ride becomes comfortable. When you go to the petrol station to fuel, look for a reputable petrol station to fuel. Not just anybody with fuel, with jerrycans, with some funny looking pumps. You need a reputable petrol station. Go and fill up. And if possible, put it to full. Because even if you don't consume the whole of it, you still have a return journey. You still have a few other days to ride. That fuel is still yours. So put it to full tank. put it full. Even if you're not going to consume the whole tank to wherever you're going, just put it to full. It gives you peace of mind. Peace of mind. When you go to the petrol station, you have two things. You fuel up the tank and you fill up the tires. This is something that many people ignore. As long as your bike is not flat, it is okay. My friend, make sure you have the right tire pressure. Tire pressure is very important to make sure you have the correct one. Make sure you have the correct tire pressure. So when you fill the tank, fill the tires. So now you have had enough sleep, the bike is mechanically okay, fuel you have enough, tires are in good condition, time for you to hit the road. What do? The first 1 hour of your ride determines whether you're going to finish that journey or not. The first 1 hour. So do not make a mistake of thinking, because I'm going to Siaya, because I'm going to Nakuru from Thika, because I'm going to Nakuru from Machakos, I have like 350 kilometers to cover. I want to cover those distances in 3 hours. Those stupid calculations of how many hours you're going to spend on the road are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. There was a time I used to do that. I'm telling you this from experience. There is a time I used to do that. I remember one day I did a ride from Ruiru to Mombasa between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. on a 223cc Hero Charisma ZMR. That was horrible. That was horrible. You do not want to calculate the time you are spending on the bike. Long distance riding doesn't require those shenanigans. That crap, just forget it. You're riding safe to get to the destination. These days, because I usually go to Mombasa a lot, I usually go to Nyanza a lot. I have a lot of things that make me ride to Nyanza and coast. I will leave Nairobi, that is, in the morning, maybe around 6:30. And by 3 p.m., I'm getting to Mombasa. 3 p.m. I'm not in a hurry for anything. I'm not in a hurry for anything. And trust me, when I get to Mombasa by 3 p.m., I will go to the beaches, I will go ride around until around 6:30. I'm not getting there suffocating, nose bleeding. I just want somewhere I can go sleep. I'm tired. I'm feeling like I'm going to die. No. I'm getting there very sober to join other bikers and do a ride around town before the day ends. Because I'm still feeling healthy and energetic enough. This is what you're supposed to do. Stop being in a hurry. You are not a firefighter, you are not a police officer investigating crime, you are not an ambulance driver. I don't even see why you're setting timelines for yourself. I don't even see why you're setting timelines for yourself. If you look at people who ride for adventure, those people who go around the world, most of the times they don't even do 80 kilometers per hour unless the highway demands high speeds. If they get to a road that speeds are not limited in terms of how slow you can go, you'll find that person doing 60 kph. He just wants to enjoy the ride, not to get to the destination. He wants to enjoy every minute he is on that motorcycle. And you can only do that when you're riding in a comfortable speed. 80 and below. The first 1 hour will determine whether you're getting there or not. After 1 hour, I want you to take a rest and evaluate what has happened in that 1 hour. Probably you have covered 85 kilometers, 1 hour. Now try to evaluate what happened. Look at the bike. Is everything looking okay? Very good. If everything is okay, you can drink something. Take a sip or two of water, pure water, a sip or two. Hydrate yourself. Take a couple of pictures and then start moving again. Something you have to remember is you don't park your bike in the middle of nowhere, like where I am right now. When on long distance riding, you don't park your bike in the middle of nowhere. Look for a safe place to park. Somewhere, if anybody tries to attack you or try to do something stupid, someone else will see. Even before you shout or anything, someone else will see. For your own safety, you don't park in the middle of nowhere. You're somewhere in the middle of Savo, you have parked your bike. And it's not funny. Even if you want to maybe ease yourself, your bladder is full, you feel like I need to ease myself, you can only take a minute or two. Then you are gone. You don't want to be there too long. You don't want to be there too long for your own safety. Something else, the distance between tarmac and the bike, when you park it, has to be at least 10 meters. Make sure where you're parking, you're not on the road shoulder. You are away from the road. Away from the road. Because you don't want anybody behaving stupid and then they wipe you off when you're drinking water. You don't want to risk that one. So keep a distance between the tarmac and the bike. Don't play around. Park your bike far away from the road. So you also have to look at where am I parking? A place that is clean enough, open enough, you feel safe. Park there, drink your water, ease yourself. Like if you have an issue with your gloves, your boots, adjust them. Whatever you want to do, just do it. 10 minutes, you're supposed to be good. Set out for a journey again and go. On your way, if you're riding your bike along a road that people have a behavior of pushing bikes off the road, highways like Nakuru Eldoret Highway, we are talking about Mombasa Highway, we are talking about Garissa Highway. Yeah? There are those roads that definitely you're very sure someone is going to try and bully you. If that is the kind of road you're riding, make sure you have something I call a cruising partner. Cruising partner. You have to look for a vehicle that is driving at a speed you feel comfortable. Between you and the vehicle, give it like 15 meters. 15 meters between you and this vehicle. Follow them as a shield. If anybody tries to bully you from that other direction, there is a vehicle in front of you. Safety is paramount. You have to make sure there is a vehicle that is shielding you. Follow that vehicle. For whatever distance they'll cover, just follow them. You have to do several stops depending on the distance you're going. If you're going for 100 kilometers, you must take a break. I'm not talking to veterans who have been going for thousands of kilometers. This is not for you. This is for someone who is starting their adventure journey by going up country this holiday season for the first time on a motorcycle. Someone who has never been there again. This is the person I'm talking to. I'm not talking to those experts who have done those thousands of kilometers. I'm talking to someone who has decided this is the first time I want to open up my adventure journey. This is the first time I want to start my traveling journey. I'm starting it with 300 kilometers. Every 100 kilometers, take a break. Something for you to take home. If you want to eat something, make sure it is something you carried. Snacks or something you carried yourself. Or you buy from a very, very reputable place. Somewhere you can see this looks safe. You don't want to risk eating anything you find along the road. Someone is selling roasted cassava, you take it. Roasted maize, you take it. Mangoes, you see them, you roasted whatever, you take it. My friend, those things don't operate here. You do not want to risk riding for the next 300 kilometers with a diarrhea. Food poisoning, you do not want to risk that one. You don't know how difficult and how expensive diarrhea can be until it happens to you when you're traveling. You don't know how difficult diarrhea can be to handle until it happens to you when you're traveling. You don't want to risk that one. Diarrhea Eat whatever you carried. Like for me, I always carry snacks, water to drink, some Lucozade, some stuff to energize me in my boxes. I don't eat in hotels. I don't do those things. When I'm on a long distance ride, when I know I am 400 kilometers away from home, I will not risk anything from a hotel. I don't. Because if anything goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong. It goes horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. And you don't want that to happen. So avoid hotels along the way. Eat whatever you carried or buy snacks in a supermarket somewhere. Eat. You'll have a lot of time to eat when you get to wherever you're going. Just avoid roadside hotels. Roadside roasted meat, roasted whatever, roasted frogs. Some people are roasting rats and I don't know whatever. They're just calling it, whatever they're calling it, just avoid that one. Don't do it. Avoid it. As a rule of thumb, in motorcycle safety, your headlight must be on. Let us not even discuss that one. Don't ride your motorcycle when your headlights are off. At least have low beam. At least have low beam. Someone has to see you 100 meters away from where you are. Someone has to see you. When you're riding, your speed must be average speed. Keep a constant speed. Keep a constant speed. If you feel comfortable riding at 80, do 80 for the next 2 years. You can. I'm serious. Constant speed. Those hasty maneuvers, overtakings, shoot, slow down, overtake, undertake, they don't operate when you're doing long distance riding. I want you to look at those people who record their journeys on YouTube when they are going around the world. You will see how they ride. If someone wants to overtake you, let them go. You're not going to wherever they are going, you're not racing, you're not even challenging. Just don't do those things. Let them go wherever they are going. If someone is trying to push you off the road, please go. Just avoid any confrontations. Because if you get into confrontations, you get angry, you get charged up, adrenaline rises, you start getting tired. You start behaving stupid. You stop listening, you stop enjoying the journey. Now you're getting angry, you're starting to respond to people's behavior. Not here. Those things we do around CBD, around the city when we are commuting to work, we do those things. But long distance, avoid challenging anyone. If they want to overtake you, let them go. Slow down, let them go. Let them go. If you see someone is tailgating you from your side mirror, you cannot even see their number plate, the front number plate. They are tailgating you so close. Just go to the side, wave them. Let them go. Wherever they are going, just let them go. There is something else that you need to note. If at any point you feel like any of your riding gear is not comfortable, make sure you stop the soonest possible and adjust it. Anything making you uncomfortable, even if it is the motorcycle seat, it's too hard, you're starting to get the buttocks burn. We call them monkey butts. Yeah, monkey butts. You're starting to feel like you are seated on a stove, some hot stove. Please rest. Do not ride when you are feeling uncomfortable. For whatever reason, just stop, rest, make your body comfortable, adjust whatever is bothering you, then go and ride again. You don't want to ride for another 2 hours with a boot that is pinching one of your toes. Just because your pair of socks is not properly done or something, just rest, adjust whatever it is, move on. You are not in some kind of racing, some challenge of how much pain you can accommodate. No records are being kept here. It is you to enjoy the journey, not even being in a hurry to get to the destination, enjoying the journey. So whatever it is that is bothering you, adjust it. Adjust it. And this one goes to your air intake too. Once in a while, open your visor. For 2 minutes, close it. Open the visor for another 2 minutes, close it. Open, close it. Make sure you're getting fresh air. Because if you are getting clogged up, you're not getting fresh air, you start suffering fatigue. You start getting tired because your muscles are not getting enough oxygen. So you don't want that to happen. Open that visor, close it, open the visor, close it. Make sure you're getting enough fresh air into your lungs, into your brain, into your muscles. Make sure you're getting enough air. It is very, very necessary. As much as you need to be comfortable, you also need to have fresh air into your body. Fresh air into your body. Before you overtake anyone, make sure you can see 100 meters ahead. And I'm insisting. Make sure you can see 100 meters ahead. When you ride for 2-3 hours straight, sometimes you tend to underestimate things. Sometimes you tend to make decisions that are not so legit. For you to be safe on a motorcycle, you must make sure you can see whatever is going on in front of you and behind you. So keep checking your mirrors too. As much as you want to see ahead, check your mirrors. Because you'll think the road is clear, you want to overtake someone, only to realize there is another Mercedes that has overtaken 10 people from behind you. And they are already doing 160 kilometers an hour. 160. And it happens on long distances. I have seen it happening. It happens. People are finishing their dashboards. Their speedometers, they are finishing it. 240 kilometers an hour on Kenyan roads. So before you decide to overtake anyone, just make sure you can see 100 meters behind you through the side mirror, 100 meters in front of you. Something that challenges people when you get to overtake, especially when you are riding along roads where long tracks are driven. The Maimahio, Narok, Mombasa Highway, those roads. You will see 2 trucks following each other from behind. Then you decide to overtake. But because there is another vehicle coming from like 200 meters, you decide, let me hide myself here. When they pass, I proceed. When you're trying to hide yourself, only to realize these 2 trucks were actually towing each other. There is a tow bar in between them. The one you have been following was actually being towed by another truck. There is a tow bar or a chain or something that is in between them. You cannot get there, and you have already gone halfway. That's how accidents happen. You're trying to get in between them only to realize there is a bar, there is a metal bar. It's called the tow bar, attaching both of them together. What do? You try and go the other direction off-road, only to realize the other driver had already decided to go off-road to avoid hitting you. So you meet there. Before you overtake, be very sure you can see what is going on. It is not negotiable, it is a must. Be very sure you can see what is going on. Very, very sure you can see what is going on. Don't follow people so close. Some people will also get tired in their vehicles. They are going to start behaving silly. Emergency braking for no reason. Others are already drunk. Others are already sleeping. You don't want to tailgate anyone because you don't even know who they are and how they are actually driving. You don't even know the condition in which they are driving. Maybe someone took a car hire. It is their first time to drive. They are going back, they are going to the village. They have been driving, trying to prove a point, 110 kilometers, 120. Now they are tired. They cannot even sustain 70 kilometers an hour. And these are the kind of people you're trying to follow. When I talk about cruising partner, you're looking for a vehicle that is behaving sober. You have to observe that driver for like 5 minutes. And then you decide, that is the vehicle I have marked, shield me. I'm going to shield myself with that vehicle. I'm going to shield myself with that vehicle. Something that makes me feel comfortable when riding is taking a lot of photos. I see some place looking nice, I'll just park. For 30 seconds, take 2 photos. Your body is actually resting. Those minutes you are taking a photo, your body is actually resting. But you also have to look at the place where you're parking. Remember I said you should not park just next to where someone can mistakenly hit you. You don't want to park somewhere someone can mistakenly hit you. Someone can decide to overtake and then they overtake wide, they go off-road and then your bike is just here. They'll kill you. So don't do that. If you want to take a photo, there are some places you can see, nice ones. Park candle, just take some photos, take some water and then continue moving. You have now done like 300 kilometers and you're starting to get tired. You don't want to keep resting again for so long because you're making the journey too long. There is something I tried and it proves working. I don't know whether there is any scientific explanation to this, but it works for me. Active resting. That's just a word I coined and just give it. Active resting. Where I will look for a place that is quite open, minimal traffic or like zero traffic, and then I'm going to reduce my speed to around 40, 45 to 50 kilometers per hour. And I'm going to put my bike on a higher gear, like gear 4. Make the engine RPMs as low as possible. Make the bike rest. And I'm going to ride while resting. I'm still covering a distance, but I'm resting. Open your visor, if possible, open your jacket. Just ride soft. Active resting. You are still riding, but you are actually making your body rest. It works for me. And especially now that I have an ADV, I just open my jacket, open my helmet, and then I'm going to start on the pegs. I'm going to ride while starting for like the next 10 minutes. Your body calms down. You'll not even believe. Active resting. Try that one, you'll see. If you have a bike like a dual sport, you can stand. If you have a sport bike, then you don't have a lot of choices. But you can reduce your speed, still cover distance, but you're resting. It is very important. Reduce the speed, still riding, very, very important. Very important.
In conclusion, we have said that long distance traveling is more of your body fitness, your mental and psychological fitness, more than the capacity of the motorcycle to travel. We have said that you have to prepare yourself, your body and your mind for the journey. You have to do everything that is going to make you energetic and sober enough to ride. You have to make sure your motorcycle is in good shape mechanically for that long distance. We have also said that you have to prepare yourself budget-wise with enough money for fuel. You have also to make sure that you have enough rest while you're traveling, and even before you start the journey, you have to make sure you're not getting into any confrontation with anyone along the way. You have to enjoy the ride. You have to stay safe and be very sure you have very, very good memories. That is what we had for today. And if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, because this is what we do. Give me that gift. Hit that subscribe button, and also remember to turn on the bell icon for notification, so that next time when we upload a video, you get notified that something nice has just landed on your most favorite YouTube channel. This is Two Wheels Paradise. My name is Meshach. See you around. See you next time. God be with you. Long distance traveling for the first time. That is all what we had for today. Thank you. See you around.